another thing to point out with both of these teams, the Clappers, they're the only team in the entire European Rival Series that did not qualify as part of the top 16 in Rocket Baguette's Grand Prix, part of the European Renegade Cup this month. So, you know, they've had even less experience, competitive experience, trying to finish out this season. At least NORDAVIND is in that group and gets to play a lot more. I think that they're just a fresher team.
Yeah, and I think, again, these guys are playing for like 5th, 6th at this point. Yeah. Again, nobody's making it back into the top 4 at this point. So the difference is now you're playing for, obviously, pride. We always say that, but also the money for the difference here for both these teams being ahead of each other gives you, what, an extra couple $1,000s or so.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's the point for these guys, is ending the season strong. If you want to make changes, you can go back and say, hey, we, you know, at least got this last win here. Here's what we did right. Here's what we did wrong. But I think at this point now, when you're out of the top 4, it's time to look back and say, okay, if we're going to keep this roster, what can we change and can we test something?
Yeah, if money isn't enough of a motivator for NORDAVIND DNB, a team that is literally co-sponsored by a bank, then I don't know what is, as they try to finish their season at 3-4 in their series score. That would, in fact, clinch the number 5 position. We are underway in game number 1, NORDAVIND and the Clappers. And NORDAVIND trying to score off the kickoff. We've seen that quite a bit, actually, so far today in Europe. Some cheats on the kickoff leading to scoring opportunities, but nothing finding the net so far. It'll be Data with a long clear on target, but right there is Petrick for the save. Here is Oceania, blocked by Godsmilla. Here's Data for the backboard for Al Dente. And, well, the goal is not in that general direction. It will be kicked to the side, and Calix's drive is blocked by Data. Now Data just trying to play that ball onward, pin the Clappers deep in their own zone. Here goes Petrick, though. He's got Oceania in front, but Oceania not able to crash the net in time. Otherwise, a pretty good feed across.
One of the things about NORDAVIND that we've seen all season is they play a lot of defense. So, again, for them to break out here against the Clappers and have a good offensive showing is a great sign for them moving forward.
A lot of low-scoring games. If this game is, you know, a 2-1 game, greatly favors NORDAVIND. Godsmilla all the way back, thought about turning, and Data has this ball blocked away. It'll be Godsmilla with a full tank of boost. He can chase this, so too can Data, but a little miscommunication there. Data almost able to jam that home on the near post, but it is cleared away, and Calix needs one more touch. He has it. It's not a great one, though. Data gonna give chase again, and his shot blocked in front by Petrick. Got the demo, did Al Dente, but he did not get the assist. So another ball cleared away. Data blocked by Petrick. And Oceania can take his time, though he didn't, and almost gave that ball away to Al Dente.
NORDAVIND, an extended stay here on offense, but it seems like every time they get in front of the goal, they just can't find a way around the last defender, and that's been the biggest problem so far.
Data now from the ceiling, did not have his delayed flip, and it goes back the other way. Petrick gonna leave that one for Oceania. Tried to run interference at Petrick, but Data able to avoid the demo and make the save, and back downfield this ball goes. Halfway mark. No score in a NORDAVIND game. It's been the story of the rival series. That's how they have got to where they are here. That ball blocked by Oceania. And a good pass across for Petrick. Clappers will break out of the zone. They have made, NORDAVIND has made these teams play that kind of slow, grindy defensive style, and finally Data with a drive right down Main Street.
Data, this ball gets thrown up here to Al Dente. Great pass out to Data, who just rips the shot, and the save almost comes through for the Clappers, but in the end, Data gets credit for the goal.
Seen physical play as well from NORDAVIND. Didn't play into that goal, but usually comes from Godsmilla. We've actually seen it from Data a lot more, at least so far in game 1. This ball out of the corner, Petrick side flipped, not able to play it any further. So now it's Data. Oh, that's touched by Oceania. That took the ball away from Calix. Now Calix, there's Godsmilla getting in on the bullying action but Al Dente's shot just off the corner, and it goes back the other way. Calix giving chase, but I think because he went for that mid boost, that affected his challenge. Data just off the corner like Al Dente, and Godsmilla's attempt is sent away as well.
And NORDAVIND are just looking like the faster team right now. For the Clappers, they just can't keep up with the pace that NORDAVIND's playing. They're getting to the ball first, and they're putting shots on target. And for the Clappers, they're just barely able to defend their goal line.
All the way downfield at Data. Normally, when Data has a lot of saves, it is bad for NORDAVIND. They need him on the other half of the field, but it's been good enough because he's done it on both sides. Does get the midfield boost on his way back. Al Dente wins the challenge. Data using some of that boost to come in and score this on an empty net.
He had an open teammate there in front of the net there, but he takes it himself as Data, great bounce off the corner, follows it up, puts it away. The Clappers, nobody's home, and NORDAVIND looking in control.
Both goals in this game from Data, one assisted, that one not. And everybody comes up empty off this kickoff. Calix trying to get one by Al Dente. And again, the Clappers, you can see the positioning, just two cars, same place, same time in the corner. Now Calix for Petrick, he came up empty. Ocelon against Data. Good challenge won by Data, but he's out of control, just falling on the backfield boost. And now Al Dente able to play this ball further. Boost advantage belongs to NORDAVIND, and Data's attempt will not get there. Godsmilla's shot is blocked away. Calix just off the mark, and nobody to follow up. Petrick coming in a little late, and Al Dente with another clear, and that was the Clappers' opportunity to get on the board and score a meaningful goal, give themselves a chance to get back in this game. Instead, the clock has hit 0, and when this ball touches down, NORDAVIND will have taken game 1.
And I have to say, for NORDAVIND, this is one of the faster games that we've seen from them. A lot more time on offense. They look organized moving down the field. They're hitting the ball out with intention, finding a man downfield to kind of play that pick position. And I have to say, for NORDAVIND, this is a great start in a series for them.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a tough game for Ocelon. You could see just a moment ago there, 20 game score. They made it a little difficult, or a little more difficult to get score per game if you're not scoring goals, but even 20, that is not the game that Ocelon was looking for.
And I think that the Clappers just, they couldn't do anything about it. They weren't reacting fast enough. And again, I simply think that NORDAVIND was just the faster team, the more organized team. They were playing the game with intent. When they transitioned from defense, they were finding someone onto the offensive zone, and they were playing through that. For the Clappers, they were just trying to stay afloat for most of that game.
Yeah, Petrick did have a very solid game, especially defensively, and he really has been the defender for the Clappers. They haven't done a whole lot of defending this season, but again, keeping NORDAVIND to those 2 goals, not letting them snowball that at all. Now they need to get their opportunities on the offensive end.
And again, for NORDAVIND, being that fast team, again, and a team that we kind of expect them to play a lot of defense, this is kind of a different type of NORDAVIND that we've seen all season. We really haven't been able to see them in a game where they control the midfield and the offensive zone, and they're able to keep teams in there. It's a different team at this point.
And so we'll get into game number 2 now, and a chance for the Clappers to reset, try to tie this series up, turn it into effectively a best of 3. NORDAVIND looking for a clean sweep, finish their season on the highest note that they can. Godsmilla, that'll be left for Data, but it is a double commit for NORDAVIND, and that will let the Clappers take all their time they want to clear this ball down, and Petrick try to put on a little dribbling clinic through the air. This will be brought back the other way. Data after the miss by Godsmilla, and it's Petrick who makes the save, but again, those cars all bunched together in front of the net for the Clappers. We saw that at times in game 1, not nearly as much, at least as we've seen in the early stages of game 2.
Well, and that last play was the biggest example. The Clappers got caught up on defense. The long clear comes out off their back wall, and they all try to get back to the net because they know the shot's coming, and they all bunch up.
Ocelon, big clear downfield, looking for Calix, but Calix not able to get there in time. And boy, when you talk about the speed of the Clappers versus NORDAVIND, it really does look like night and day. Petrick gonna bring one in to the corner, but Al Dente again, another big clear downfield, and that really is all NORDAVIND needs to do. It's a lot of what they've done all season long. They haven't really utilized team play getting out of the zone. It's been dump and chase. It worked last season. Not so much this time around as Data's blocked by Petrick. Godsmilla and Data both up after that ball. They have been going after the same ball quite a bit in the first game and a half. Now it's Godsmilla. Has the ball all to himself, looking to set up Data. But that pass way too strong in front. Al Dente does well to stop that ball from going to the corner. Keeps the attack alive for NORDAVIND. And Petrick there for yet another stop. Hey, how about the defense of Petrick so far in this series?
Well, and especially in this game for the Clappers, it's much more organized, a little bit more calm on defense, kind of watching plays develop, and then either reacting or trying to make it stop before it happens, doing a much better job of shutting down NORDAVIND.
Al Dente and Data thought about it. Al Dente's touch is going to be off the mark. Now Oceania. Data and Godsmilla. This time Data calls him off. Godsmilla from the ceiling. What a clever play to get in position for Data's pass. And Al Dente trying to play interference along the back line. It will be saved. And then the ball just left there. Inviting NORDAVIND back into the zone are the Clappers. Another ball popped up. Here comes Godsmilla and Calix there for a save. Hey, if the goal is to set the rival series record for saves, the Clappers are well on their way. They've got 6 in the first half of game number 2. Because they probably need a few minutes of overtime to get there. It'll be Calix. Blocked by Al Dente. He'll have another opportunity. This ball will find Petrick, and it goes off to the corner. Passing just not there yet for the Clappers, as Al Dente will dump this to the corner and start another attack downfield. He's passed 2, needs to beat 1 more, and Data has to come up just to play that from the corner. And again, nothing doing on the offensive end. Calix blocked by Al Dente.
And again, for this game here in particular for the Clappers, yes, they're playing a lot of defense, but this is still 0-0. That's a big chance for the Clappers that they have got to put on target.
Data wins that challenge. It was rolled out for Godsmilla, but he didn't make an attempt on the ball. There's now Al Dente for Godsmilla this time, and the shot blocked way out in front by Petrick. Who else? It's been outstanding. He's kept the Clappers in this game, giving them a chance to tie up the series. Data now. Just going to take that midfield boost. Looked like NORDAVIND was going to back off, but it wasn't a convincing clear from the Clappers. Data. That shot off the mark, or if it was a pass, nobody was there for it. And we go down to the final 30 seconds, just waiting for someone to find the net. Only 1 save on the part of NORDAVIND. Meanwhile, plenty more on the opposite side. 6 for the Clappers, as mentioned before.
And only 1 shot coming out from the Clappers. Like I said earlier, there's been a couple times where they've had chances that they kind of squandered. They couldn't put it on target. And they didn't force a tough save out of NORDAVIND.
There have not been many quality scoring opportunities. Maybe one will come here in the closing seconds of game 2. All blocked off to the side. We will have golden goal. Somebody has to score eventually, and when they do, they will take a very important second game in this series.
And for the Clappers, after a hugely defensive game for them, they would love to steal this one away with 1 good offensive chance.
Petrick for Calix. And Calix is trying to drop one down for Oceania, but maybe more ambitious than anything else. Now Data. Good win over Petrick. Ball in front, and Oceania able to find a weak spot in the attack, clear the ball away. Here goes Petrick. It would only be fitting if he's involved in the play that wins it for the Clappers, but not this time down the field. Now Al Dente, kicked out laterally. Data's not able to jump for it. Here goes Petrick, and again, ball taken away from him. And we play on in a scoreless tie, but for how much longer? Data's drive is saved by who else but Petrick.
And he's coming up big for the Clappers here in this game. Really, all 3 of the Clappers doing great on defense here. Now 8 saves for the entire team.
NORDAVIND has seen teams make a lot of saves against them. As Calix will have his shot blocked by Data. They had a long overtime with Copenhagen Flames where the Flames set the rival series record, a very short-lived record actually, for most saves in a game. Now Petrick, all the way downfield, Data, awkward position in the corner. Maybe earlier in the season might have gone for that ball, would have put NORDAVIND in an even tougher spot. Now Data, that'll kick in front, and it's cleared away again by Petrick. He'll take it himself for the win, and he bounces it home.
Petrick finally able to put this game away, and like you said, how fitting would it be after a great defensive showing here for Petrick and the Clappers. They're able to finally take the game away in 1 minute and 42 seconds of overtime. The Clappers tie up the series.
Well then, we have a series here as these two teams battle for position. Both of them still very much live to get that fifth place spot and, you know, maximize the amount of money that they get from this season. And of course, more importantly, go out on a W. You know, the Clappers fighting back in that series. Again, they haven't done a whole lot on the offensive end, but they've done just enough to make this a series.
And I felt like that was kind of how this series or this game was going to end here. After a great defensive showing from the Clappers, they stop everything that NORDAVIND does. It's great to go against the statistics when it says, hey, if you're making a bunch of saves, you're probably not winning that game. Petrick able to put the team on his back, not only on the backboard or on his own goal line, but then on the other side of the field to put the game away.
Yeah, Petrick, top of the scoreboard, the in-game scoreboard, 2 games in a row for his team. And we've talked about Petrick quite a bit this season in less flattering terms because, you know, he really hasn't had the stats to back up his play. You know, he's done a lot off the ball, a lot like Godsmilla. Now he's got numbers to back it up, and he is a huge part of why the Clappers even have a chance in this series.
But again, for the Clappers, and really for NORDAVIND as well, going to a 0-0 overtime isn't good for both teams. That means you're not finishing on your drives and you're not putting things away. And for the Clappers, it took one big defensive mistake from NORDAVIND to put the game away. On the other hand, the Clappers had more than a few chances to put the game away. They had their chances to put it on target, and they just couldn't.
We'll get into Game 3 as NORDAVIND and the Clappers. This is the final series of the season for NORDAVIND, trying to secure the 5th place spot. While the Clappers, they have one more match later this evening against the Savage squad that, again, Savage could have their spot already locked up before that match is played. There's still a lot to be determined. Al Dente. Actually, at this point, no, Savage will have to win that match. This is going to be Oceania. Off the back wall, and Calyx there just a little too late. Godsmilla going to have that one drop down. And it's going to fall right to Data. Data running a little interference on Calyx, but Calyx does take possession. Finds Oceania, and Godsmilla barely able to alter that shot. And it allows Data to take his time, just booming it downfield again. Dump and chase strategy. This is loose in front for Al Dente, but the shot's wide.
And again, you take a look at the contrast between Game 1 and Game 2 for NORDAVIND's offense, and I talked about them being the faster team in Game number 1, and in Game number 2 they weren't the faster team. The Clappers were just all over the place, especially on defense. Even though NORDAVIND had drives down the field, it felt like the Clappers were just quicker. And for the Clappers in this game, they're doing a much better job of staying involved.
Oh, great shot on there, just wide from Godsmilla. Had the defender beaten, but Old Ironside's there to say no. Now Al Dente not able to get the ball in front. Data, big whiff on the side, and Godsmilla, all he could do is stall for time for his teammates to get back. They are back. Data waiting in the net, and now he'll start to break out with the rest of his team as Godsmilla is not able to go up the ladder for that ball, and Data barely keeping the ball away from Petrick. Now Petrick downfield, not able to get one on target. Was a tough angle, and Al Dente will have it away. Hopped up and away. It'll be Petrick, who has been the everyman so far for the Clappers. Still scoreless, as we were throughout all of the 5 minutes of regulation in Game number 2. Loose in front again, and it is Petrick who comes in to clear it away, but he does not have any support. Godsmilla, big demo on Oceania. Oceania off the respawn. Petrick trying to interfere with Godsmilla, giving him a little taste of his own medicine. And Al Dente will just leave this for Godsmilla. And the pressure is just not there from either side.
And really, both sides are just kind of throwing the ball down the field and making do with what happens. Like you said, for NORDAVIND, that's kind of been their game plan the whole season. But even Clappers are responding. Once the ball gets thrown in their side, they're just kind of booming it back.
Backboard play, but nobody to follow up, and it's sent away by Oceania. Calix is there, and his shot sent away by Data, falling into his own net. And the quick counterattack set up by Godsmilla, but not able to find Al Dente. Al Dente, good challenge in the corner. Data a little too slow to it though. And Calix interfered with, and that will slow things down from the Clappers. We are rapidly approaching the final minute. Nobody has blinked yet. Data, tough angle, not gonna find it. Godsmilla hits the back wall, and it's cleared again. Another attempt from Calix, trying to clear this out of the zone. Data in front for Godsmilla, and again, two-man defense this time from the Clappers. Petrick in on it as always. He'll clear this ball downfield, but not over Al Dente. Oceania down the dotted line. It's Godsmilla trying to stay with the play, and he does.
A dangerous touch there above his net, but able to get out of it for NORDAVIND. And there's been a couple chances now that NORDAVIND's kind of able to clamp down on the defense of the Clappers, but they turtle up so hard they're able to get out and transition back onto offense.
You know why NORDAVIND's been able to keep the Clappers off the board through most of regulation, actually all of regulation the past couple of games? Advanced defense. Here's Data. All the way downfield. Calix, big clear, but not out of the zone. It's coming right back in. Petrick looking for Calix. He'll find him. Petrick will rotate out. And Oceania staying way back. That's a good ball in front, but nobody coming forward. Nobody taking a chance. It could cost them. It does! Godsmilla gives NORDAVIND the lead.
And Godsmilla, he stays with this ball. He only had about 20 boosts when he got up to it, puts it across the box. It kind of comes back out to him, and he pops it over the defense there, right in front of Clapper's face. And with 18 seconds left, NORDAVIND looking to steal this game away.
The shots are 5-4 in favor of NORDAVIND. The fifth one finds the back of the net finally in the closing seconds of Game 3, and Al Dente will add another.
And Calix just was watching this ball go off his post there, and right off the kickoff, the challenge there in the midfield, it comes off the post. Calix again just can't read it, and Al Dente able to put it away. And that's such a dangerous kickoff, especially once not only do you lose the kickoff, but you lose the challenge directly after that. The defense just isn't there for the Clappers.
Unless the Clappers score here in the final seconds and give themselves a chance at even a kickoff goal to tie, every game so far in this series will have been a shutout. This one's no different. NORDAVIND, another 2-0 victory, and they are one win away from clinching number 5.
And I have to say, this game obviously was very even up until maybe the last minute or so, and I felt like NORDAVIND was able to start just to capitalize on a lot more chances. You saw Godsmilla and Al Dente putting away some shots, and for NORDAVIND, though, or for both these teams, it's a little agonizing to play a 0-0 game for full 5 minutes, and NORDAVIND able to just kind of steal it away there in the end, or we go to overtime at 0-0. I think really what it is in this series specifically, they're kind of playing to each other in the same exact way. They're kind of throwing the ball down the field, and they're saying, okay, we're going to go after that and see what you do with it. If you make a mistake, we'll try and capitalize. If you don't, we're going to stay back, especially the Clappers. They are staying back.
Oh, yeah. Very, very conservative offensive attack from the Clappers. I mean, we've seen so many balls thrown in front where you think, hey, there's a chance, but nobody's there. And, you know, hey, that's the way the Clappers are going to approach this series. It's the way NORDAVIND's going to approach this series, but I do think NORDAVIND has been much more proactive on the offensive end. The Clappers have they've turtled up, and they've kept NORDAVIND from running away with any of these games.
Yeah, and I think it's benefited the Clappers that NORDAVIND has had struggled to break down the defense of the Clappers, and maybe that's just kudos to the Clappers defense. It's very strong here against this matchup in NORDAVIND, but again, for the Clappers, when you're playing defense, typically you're the one to lose if you're just saving everything and you have so many shots going off your back wall and stuff like that. I think that it does not benefit you very well. So for NORDAVIND, if they could start to capitalize on the space that the Clappers give them, that would be huge.
We'll go into game number 4, a must-win for the Clappers. We'll see if we can break the trend of every game being a shutout, one way or the other. the Clappers have not scored in the first 5 minutes of any game. It took them a minute plus of overtime to get that winner from Petrick in game 2. This will be Calix. Does not have anybody to pass to. And now Petrick will try his luck. Does have Calix in the center. And Data will sky one off the ceiling. Bounce shot from Oceania. That's how Petrick won game 1. This time Al Dente makes the stop. Data makes another save. And NORDAVIND will look to get downfield. But it's Oceania bringing another one in, and Al Dente making sure Petrick doesn't get a piece of him.
And Data, give him credit. That was a great save coming out the back of his net. There was someone from the Clappers kind of bullying him around. He was able to come out and make a huge save to keep this game clean.
It's off the corner from Petrick. Got Smilla. Big clear downfield. Maybe got a little help there from Oceania as that goes to the corner. But Data's not able to play this ball any further. Here goes Calix, beaten by Al Dente. So Oceania just climbs the wall and he'll send another one away. NORDAVIND will reset. Godsmilla's down there. Big sky ball for Data. Needs another touch. Does he have the reset? Oh, he's able to find the corner.
Data, this is the man for NORDAVIND the entire season. He's been scoring so many goals. Look at this great control here at the top of the ceiling and able to put this one away. Threw off the defense of the Clappers, and Data puts NORDAVIND up by 1.
Did not have a flip reset, didn't need it, as he's able to control his car and give NORDAVIND an early lead here in a closeout opportunity. Oceania for Petrick, and almost there. Petrick just missing the corner. Now Oceania. That'll drop down to Calix. Needs another touch, and Godsmill is there to make sure it's not a useful touch. Big ball downfield from Al Dente. Calix is there to intercept. Challenge at midfield won by Oceania. Calix is lurking at the mid. Nothing doing though, as Data should have this. Oh, he's whiffed it! And this game is tied.
And after Data scoring the go-ahead goal here for NORDAVIND, a big miss here on the wall. He just doesn't read it right. He doesn't go for the ball in time. He had quite a bit of boost, about 70, and it's a big whiff coming out from him. Oceania able to capitalize and tie up the game for the Clappers.
Low diamond 3 right here, and I feel so much better watching that happen to somebody other than myself. Data has that one sent away by Petrick. And of course, Data's got to get that one out of his mind now moving forward here. NORDAVIND still in great shape to close out this series. That's the first goal in regulation that the Clappers have scored. And they really haven't scored any due to outstanding play on their own part. You could look at Petrick's goal maybe, but even that one set up by less than stellar defense from NORDAVIND. Here goes Petrick though. He'll have a full tank to work with. Looking to go underneath Data, and Data's there to recover. Now Godsmilla chasing one down. This will go all the way across. And Data just trying to play keep away. He's done enough to interfere with the defense, but Al Dente not able to come up in time. Oh, Data. Well, that's a challenge officially by Oceania. I don't think he expected it to be one. Now Calix misses this ball, but it will be right there for Oceania. There's great Petrick shot with a banger.
Wow, what a shot here from Petrick. That's a bullet putting this one away. And now taking the lead for the Clappers. Great lead on pass here. He's able just to find it on the tip of his car, and that is just unsavable. Top shelf shot, and the Clappers take the lead.
145K on its way. Good luck. This constitutes an offensive explosion for the Clappers. 2-1 lead now with just over a minute and a half remaining. A lot of time to hold on here. Al Dente was coming up and just ran into Calix. Godsmilla, his attempt out of the corners sent away by Petrick. Now the Clappers, you thought they were playing defensively earlier. They'll play super conservative now, only Oceania forward. They did all get caught up though, and Calix has to scramble back. He's taken out of the play, and so Oceania comes in. Al Dente takes out Petrick, but nothing doing. Final minute coming up here. NORDAVIND running out of time, otherwise we'll go to game 5.
You take a look at the shots here for the Clappers. 9 here in this game. It's been one of the biggest offensive games here in the series. And for NORDAVIND, you look on the other side, only 2 shots for them as time starts to tick down for them, but they actually put one away. It's Smilla finding the back of the net.
Yeah, Smilla, who's normally been the physical presence for NORDAVIND, getting in on the scoring this time. And now here we are, overtime looming with only 42 seconds remaining.
For NORDAVIND, they've got to put this one away. They would love to close out the series here against the Clappers, and especially in a game where the Clappers have had full control. That's it from Aldente. It's a great follow-up there. Great pass from Smilla, and Aldente puts it away.
Well, both these teams playing very low-scoring games all throughout this series, and Aldente getting in on the scoring here. Back and forth they go. NORDAVIND have the upper hand now. This game has turned completely on its head in the last 7 seconds. Aldente rolling one just outside the dotted line. Final 30 here. As the Clappers break out, they've left the net open behind them, but the shot's gonna be just wide. Another chance in front. That net's still not really secured, but the ball sent downfield. Nobody's home on the other side. Oceania
ties up the game with less than 15 seconds left, and he just watches 2 defenders from NORDAVIND push up. He follows the ball down the field. Great touch from him to put that one away. And we got ourselves a tie game looking at overtime.
Nobody able to put the other away here in game 4. And Aldente able to just throw this into the corner. Another bomb downfield. Last chance belongs to NORDAVIND, and it looks like overtime, but Aldente's got other plans. Could be to NORDAVIND's detriment. Data, that's on target, but Calix there to make sure it does not find the net.
And just as you thought NORDAVIND steals away the game, the Clappers answer back and force an overtime and trying to go to game 5.
Data from the ceiling. Aldente's there, and Oceania with the save.
Oceania just stuck that shot, not even able to put it on target. He just got in front of that. No chance for NORDAVIND.
Petrick, big pop over one, but Data very quickly to the ceiling. Ocelian's shot is saved by Data. Petrick was there trying to knock him out of the way. So now Oceania, he missed the corner boost, so Data's able to take it. He'll take another as well. So the Clappers need to get downfield. They do, but Smilla shuts the door. Aldente for Data. One more touch. No, Data is way off to the side, and that's going to be blocked away. Nobody following up for NORDAVIND on that play from Data.
It's a great pass. Off the crossbar there for NORDAVIND, looking for more as the Clappers trying to find a way out. That's a great play from NORDAVIND. They've seen them set that one up a couple times, but they just haven't been able to put it away.
Data from the ceiling, trying to find Aldente there. Ball cleared away. Now Oceania for Petrick, good touch. And Aldente saves another one away. The other overtime back in game 2, it ended at the 142 mark. We've had several close calls in this OT. Calix is giving one away to Data, and Ocelian's there for the save. We're right at that 142 mark. Another drive coming on from Smilla. It'll find the corner. No follow-up as Oceania, easy read. Back the other way, Petrick beaten by Data. Does get this ball in front. Not able to find Calix. Now it's just a big clear from Data, allowing NORDAVIND to reset. Petrick has it taken away by Smilla. Aldente's there. What a drop-down pass.
One more.
And no final touch as Oceania will gratefully clear it away.
And NORDAVIND are so close to putting it away. Great passing plays coming out from him, but again, the defense coming out for the Clappers are just not able to execute on the play.
Oh, look out!
It's going to go in. For NORDAVIND here, Aldente gets credit, and as we're talking about all the great passing plays, Aldente, the pinch coming off the side wall at the midfield, and what a way to end. NORDAVIND take the series 3-1 in an interesting fashion in overtime stacks. Your face says it all, I have to say.